Sex life after 65. Does it still matter? The truth no one talks about. Welcome back to the Talk with John channel, your go-to place for great stories and helpful advice after 50. I am John, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more important conversations. Today we're diving into a topic that many people think about but rarely dare to discuss: sex in old age. Does it still matter? I know just hearing the word sex, especially when you're in your 60s or 70s, might make some people chuckle awkwardly, shake their heads, or even think, at this age, why should I care about that anymore? But let me ask you a few questions. When was the last time you truly felt the warmth of a deep, meaningful hug? When was the last time you looked at your partner and felt your heart flutter like it did in the early days? When was the last time you felt loved, desired, and touched, not just physically, but emotionally? If you had to think too long to answer, then this is exactly why we need to talk about it today. Sex isn't just about physical desire. It's about connection, closeness, and the affirmation that we are still living fully. Unfortunately, far too many people give up on this part of life as they age. Not because they don't want it, but because they believe society no longer allows them to want it. But here's what I want you to remember. Sex has no expiration date. The only thing that ages is the stigma around it. So, does sex truly fade with time, or does it simply change in a way we haven't fully understood yet? Let's explore together. 1. Sex doesn't disappear, it just changes. I have a close friend, Mr. James, who is 72 years old. He's a charming gentleman, always well-dressed, polite, and full of life. One day, while having coffee, he suddenly sighed. You know, back in the day, my wife and I always held hands. Whether we were out shopping, watching TV, or just sitting together, her warm hand was always in mine. But now it feels like everything is slipping away. It's not that I don't love her anymore. It's that I don't know if she still wants me the way she used to. I looked at him and realized this is the unspoken truth for so many older adults. According to the National Institute on Aging, NIA, more than 50% of people aged 65 to 80 still have an active sex life. It may not be something everyone talks about, but it exists. In fact, for many, it becomes even more meaningful with age. A 2020 survey from the University of Michigan found that 73% of seniors believe that sex is an essential part of maintaining happiness. So why do so many people feel like sex no longer matters as they age? The problem isn't with the body, it's with how we think about it. Here are some of the most common reasons why older adults unconsciously distance themselves from sex. Society doesn't talk about it. Many of us grew up in a culture where sex was seen as something unnecessary in old age. At some point, society silently tells us that sex no longer applies to us. Hormonal changes. Men experience declining testosterone, and women experience lower estrogen levels, which can lead to vaginal dryness and reduced libido. But hormones don't control everything. Psychology and emotions play a much bigger role in desire. Age-related health issues, conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, and arthritis can make intimacy more challenging. But do these challenges mean we should give up entirely? Self-consciousness and insecurity. When you look in the mirror, do you ever feel like you're not as attractive as you used to be? This insecurity can create distance, and before we even realize it, intimacy quietly fades away. But here's what's important. Sex doesn't disappear, it simply evolves into something different. Instead of thinking, I'm not like I used to be, try thinking, I can enjoy this in a way that suits me now. 2. The scientific benefits of sex in old age. If anyone ever tells you sex isn't important for older adults anymore, let me share with you what science says about that. Sex isn't just about pleasure, it's a natural medicine for the body and mind. Boosts memory and reduces the risk of dementia. A study from Coventry University, UK found that older adults with active sex lives perform better on memory and cognitive function tests. Supports heart health research from the American Journal of Cardiology found that seniors who engage in regular sexual activity reduce their risk of heart disease by 45%. Enhances mood and reduces stress and anxiety. When we're intimate with our partner, our body releases endorphins, natural hormones that improve mood and lower the risk of depression. Promotes better sleep. After intimacy, the body releases oxytocin, a hormone that relaxes the nervous system and improves sleep quality. In other words, sex isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's a part of overall well-being, joy, and connection that everyone deserves, no matter their age. So how can you enjoy a fulfilling sex life as you age? How can you overcome mental and physical barriers? The answers are coming up next. Stay tuned. 3. What if sex becomes difficult? What should you do? I remember a time when Mr. Michael, 74 years old, called me late one evening, his voice hesitant. "Hey, do you have a minute? I need to ask you something, kind of personal." I immediately knew what he wanted to talk about. Men of a certain age all have their own concerns, but they don't always know who to confide in. I tried some of those little blue and red pills thinking they'd bring back my younger days. But honestly, nothing changed. Do you think I've lost it completely? I chuckled and reassured him, "Michael, sex isn't just about taking a pill. It's about psychology, overall health, and, most importantly, the connection with your wife. Do you two still talk openly about this?" There was a pause, then he sighed. "To be honest, ever since we got older, we've barely mentioned it. It's like we both silently agreed it wasn't important anymore. But deep down, I still want to feel that closeness again." This is the reality for many older adults. It's not that they've lost desire. It's that they don't know how to reconnect after time, life, and age have created distance. If you feel like intimacy has become difficult, don't just accept it as an inevitable part of aging. Try these solutions. Checkmark talk openly with your partner. Understanding and communication are key. Don't be afraid to express your needs and desires. Your partner may be feeling the same way but doesn't know how to bring it up. Take care of your overall health. Don't let issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, or arthritis get in the way of your sex life. A healthy diet and regular exercise can naturally improve sexual function. Change your approach. Sex isn't just intercourse. It's about intimacy. Sometimes a tight hug, a passionate kiss, or even just holding hands at night can reignite old feelings. Seek professional help if needed. There's no shame in consulting a doctor about solutions like hormone therapy, erectile dysfunction treatments, or lubricants. What matters is finding what works best for your body. Create a romantic atmosphere. When was the last time you set aside time just for the two of you? No kids, no work, no distractions? A small change in setting can bring back the emotions you thought were lost. Remember, the issue isn't age. It's how we perceive and adapt to change. Love and intimacy never have an expiration date. 4. Breaking the stigma. Don't be afraid to love at any age. Mr. James, the 72-year-old friend I mentioned earlier, once told me, "You know, I still feel attractive, but strangely, society acts like older people shouldn't have desires anymore." I asked him, "So do you believe sex is important for older adults?" He laughed and said, "Of course. Whether you're a man or a woman, everyone wants to feel loved. The biggest mistake people make is convincing themselves that age means giving up those emotions. So why do many older adults feel embarrassed talking about sex? Because society still holds on to the outdated belief that sex is only for the young. But science and human emotions say otherwise. You think, "I'm too old to think about sex." Truth, there is no age limit for intimacy. Sex isn't just an act. It's a way to maintain connection with your partner. You think, if I don't feel the same desire as before, something must be wrong with me. Truth, desire naturally evolves over time, but that doesn't mean it disappears. The key is to nurture it through communication, self-care, and adapting to your body's changes. You think, no one else my age talks about this, so I must be the only one. Truth, millions of older adults still care about sex. They just don't talk about it because they fear judgment. But the more we stay silent, the harder it is to find solutions. So how can we shift this mindset? Recognize that sex is a natural part of life. Just like eating and sleeping, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Be more open with your partner. Start with a light conversation, free from pressure, just to understand each other better. Maintain your health to boost confidence. A healthy body makes you feel more attractive and ready for intimacy. Allow yourself to experience intimacy in new ways. Sometimes a long walk together or a quiet evening with soft music can be just as meaningful as a passionate night. Sex doesn't age, only societal stigma does, and we have the power to decide how we live our lives. Conclusion: don't let age take away your happiness. When we were young, sex was about passion. As we matured, it became about understanding and expressing love. And as we age, sex is no longer just about physical desire. It becomes a profound way to stay emotionally connected and keep our hearts from feeling lonely. But sadly, many people allow stigma, self-doubt, and physical changes to steal this part of life from them. They withdraw, stop opening up, stop expressing their needs, and slowly, without realizing it, grow apart from their partners. But here's what I want you to remember. Sex doesn't have an expiration date. Closeness doesn't fade with time. It just changes how it's expressed. Happiness isn't about age. It's about how we choose to embrace life. I once heard a saying, we don't stop loving because we grow old. We grow old because we stop loving. So don't let age be the reason you miss out on love, intimacy, and the moments of deep connection that make life meaningful. Take your partner's hand, whisper something sweet to them, maybe something you haven't said in a long time, because it's never too late to love, to be close, and to embrace the happiness you deserve. What are your thoughts on this topic? Share your perspective in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to continue exploring the most meaningful aspects of life with me. You deserve love and joy at every stage of life. Thank you for watching Talk with John channel. I am John. See you in the next episode.